So here we are again. I've got this program I've been working on. I'm going to provide a link to this. This is just a folder actually, but when you get the folder it's going to look like this. Inside of here I've included a folder with icons, and this is just the icon that I use for it. So all you have to do when you get this folder is go to your properties and go to customize, and then go to change your icon, and then just browse to that and choose that, and then your folder will turn into that. It'll look like that. I think it's more attractive. So you can put this folder any place on your system, C drive, you can put it in documents, anywhere. But what you have to do is go look for SpeakEasy.exe and right click on that and send that to your desktop and create a desktop shortcut. Then you can just forget about the folder. Now when you first run this, the very first time, it's going to ask for your name for Denise, and that'll be that, and it's going to ask for your password, and then it's going to ask for the X and Y coordinates, where you want it to show up, and then it's going to show up. And this is the default mode. Anytime you delete, see what that happened was it created an any file here with all the settings on it. All you have to do is delete that file and you can start over, and it always comes back to this default look. To move it around, you have to click it at the bottom, move it in the letters like so. And this is standby mode. There's two modes for this, standby and listening. Wake up.
I can hear you.
Computer. Go to sleep.
Entering sleep mode. Say wake up to start recognition.
So now you see it's turned green. This is listening mode. You can say any command in there that you have added, or AIML commands still work. This goes directly into her chat window. So all the same chat stuff still applies. Wake up.
I can hear you.
Hey Denise.
Yes?
Okay, thanks.
See you later.
Now you see it automatically went back to standby mode.
And did you liked?
Yeah. Standby mode. And so now you remember that pesky I can hear you problem? Well, it really doesn't matter now, because now you can just go ahead and listen to anything that you want, and nothing's going to happen unless you have the particular key phrases. One is, hey Denise.
Denise online.
Do you like chocolate?
Yes, I love chocolate. Chocolate is delicious. When are you finally going to bring me some?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I'll be here if you need me.
And then automatically back to standby mode.
Fascinating. Why are they called apartments when they are all stuck together?
I don't know what that's about. So anyway, what's another thing? I'm going to add a command that, you remember in my other video, Speak 2.0, I could create apps and just drag and drop them into the folder and then tell her to add a command. I'm going to add a command that's not in the folder now. Computer. I would like to add a command. Dragon command. Go to sleep.
Entering sleep mode. Say wake up to start recognition.
Okay, this is the key phrase I'm going to say, because what I'm going to do is open up this CM browser up here. So when I say any sentence with the word dragon command in it, and now I want the path to that. So all I have to do is go onto the shortcut and right click and say properties, and it shows the target right here. I can just right click and copy that and paste that right there. And we can close that now. We say OK. Now here's the change that I made. Now here's what you want to do. You want to type what you want Denise to say when she's activating that program. And I've got this little thing right here to make it really easy to add expressions and things. So let's say right here, wake up.
I can hear you.
Here's that little thing you asked for. Go to sleep.
Entering sleep mode. Say wake up to start recognition.
And you see it misspelled here. We could leave it like that, or we could correct it, because she's going to say it right anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So let's say if I want to add some expressions to it. I want to put one brow up. When I tick that box and I say copy to clipboard, it's saved. So now I could just click here and right click and paste. And then let's do an exclamation. We'll copy that to clipboard and we'll put that right in between there. We'll paste that there. And then let's go over here. Let's do a blink there. That'll take it out. We'll copy that. You asked for, let's do that right there. And we'll paste that there. And then say right here at the end, let's do a smile blink. We'll smile, we'll copy that, and we'll put that right there on the end. Okay, that takes care of our little things. Now, one thing I wanted to mention about this, you can only do one at a time. If you try to do two, when it goes to copy, it's going to say, please choose one, and it's going to clear the boxes. So if you forget and have one ticked, and then you tick another in any amount, if you try to do it, it's not going to let you. It's going to let you do only one at a time. Then when you copy it, it'll save it, and you can put it in there. Anyway, so we got that. I'm going to say OK. It's going to reload. Computer. Oh, wake up.
I can hear you.
Computer. Let's add a dragon command.
Here's that little thing you asked for.
Go to sleep.
Entering sleep mode. Say wake up to start recognition.
But we didn't get to see those expressions. Wake up.
I can hear you.
Hey, Denise.
Denise online.
I want to add a dragon command.
Here's that little thing you asked for.
Go to sleep.
Entering sleep mode. Say wake up to start recognition.
So, you see how that works? And we go back to standby mode automatically. Wake up.
I can hear you.
Computer. Okay, thanks.
Okay, I'll be here if you need me.
Go to sleep.
Entering sleep mode. Say wake up to start recognition.
Now, here's another thing. Suppose you don't like the way this looks. If you go down here into the tray icons and you find this little icon, you right click on it and click settings. And that'll pull up this menu right here by which you can change most of the aspects of this window. As soon as I clicked settings, it took this out of the loop. So now anything that goes in there now is not going to go to Denise. It's just going to stay right here in the menus situation. And there's a lot of things you can change right here. I'm going to start with, well, here. If I click standby, it shows standby. If I click listening, it shows the listening mode. And we can change how this looks in either one of these. But every time you make a change, you have to reset it by clicking either the standby or listening. Also, when you change settings in standby, before going to listening, you need to click OK in order to save the changes. Now, I'll give you examples of that. Let's start with the standby window right now. If I want to change, see, we've got the outside color and you've got the inside color on standby. Here you've got the outside color listening and the inside color of listening. So you can change these, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. First I want to touch on radius 1 and radius 2. These are the radiuses. 1 is the top part of it and 2 is the bottom part of it. These ratios interact with each other. Like a 10 up here and a 90 down here is not the same as a 90 up here and a 10 down here. I'm going to show you an example here. We'll change this one to a 1, so we got 10 and 60. Just click standby to update it, and you'll see how it changes. Let's say if I want to change this one to 30, and we click standby, now it changes like that. Let's move this one back up to, say, 40, and we click standby, and it changes it like that. Let's move this one up here to 90 and leave that one at 30. Then it changes like that. And so these are things that you can play with to get a more shapely shape. You can make it almost round at the ends like that. So these are actually not set yet. This is just a preview. In order to set that, you would have to click save for it. But you're not done yet. So say I've made these changes right here. If I click save, it'll come back and it'll have those changes. But the only thing you can change separately are the colors. So this outside color right here, this is the outside color on standby. If I change this, say, to 99, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can instantly see what that's going to look like right here. If I say cancel, it's going to go back to the original what it was. Nothing will be set in stone until you save it. Let's say if I wanted to keep that one there and change maybe the bottom one to black. We can see what that looks like right here. And since my letters are white, you see they won't reset now. They'll just stay there so you can see what they look like. If I wanted to keep those changes, then I would have to click OK. Those have been saved now. And then go to listening. Now we can change this one to anything we want. Say if I want the outside color to be 9900 here, just for an example. I call it 100, but it ain't. 1, 2, 3, 4, got one too many there. And then you click listening to update what it's going to look like. Of course, that's really ugly. Say my inside color listening, let's make that white, because I just happen to know what white is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we click listening. Now we've made them white. But the problem is, our letters are white. What do we do about that? Well, we go down here to font color, and we can click, let's say, green, and see what that looks like. Now when I click it, they're going to be green. Or let's say if I want to pick maroon, we click listening to apply it, and we see what maroon looks like. There's a lot of aspects we can change with this. Now here's another thing. Suppose you don't know what colors you want. Well, there's a color picker right here. If you click this, it's going to open this thing up. And this is actually an AutoHotkey script as well that's been compiled. But you can choose colors that you want. Let's say we'll go to standby and say this outside color I want to be really dark. Like say here, maybe just a little bit of red in there. This one will show you, if I click it, it sets the color down here. And that is the number for the color. If I copy this, I can copy this, and then I can go over here, outside color on standby. I can just mark that out and paste that and hit standby, and it'll update what that looks like right there. Let's say my inside color, I want to be something like, like that. Now I can save these colors too. If I click save the color, you just pick a slot. You can pick a used one too. I can save it right there. Then if I go over and do anything else, anytime I click here, or click here, it loads that color. So I can have a reference to previous colors or different things, depending on what I want. Let's say if I want to make this one the inside color. I'll copy that, look for inside color on standby, just get that out of there, paste that in there, click standby to apply it, and now we have that. So you get the idea how that works. But I've got one more little trick. Suppose I want to make it transparent completely. Then I have a set code for that. Let's say the inside color, if I put 000001, that's a number you have to remember, and click standby, now my inside is transparent and my letters still look like this. However, suppose I make the outside transparent too. So we go to outside color on standby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. I wanted to cover this because I know somebody is going to do it. Okay, I click that. Now that makes the window disappear. So there's nothing here to click on to move it. So the only downside to this is you have to click right on those letters, right on the white letters itself right there, in order to move this window. That's the only downside to the transparency situation. But you can use this for, say if you use this one for your standby, and I say OK, and now I go to for listening, and it looks like that. If I wanted to save this, I can save this. I click save. And now we're back. Wake up.
I can hear you.
Computer. Go to sleep.
Entering sleep mode. Say wake up to start recognition.
Alright, one more thing on settings. I didn't cover fonts. I have various fonts you can use. I added all these fonts in here. And right now we're using, I think, Sergio script. Say if I want New Times, and you click standby, and that's going to show you, you know what, I don't like the way, I really don't like that. I'm going to change this to, just for outside, we're just for demonstrations, I'm just going to change that to black, and then we'll click OK, and click save. Alright, now it's black and it's easier to see and move around and everything. So, go back here to settings, and I want to change that font. Now the font changes the title, the window title, as well as your scripting. So, so I changed my font here, George Bold. Click standby, and then you can see how that's going to look. I'm just going to type some letters in there. Maybe Talahama Bold. Standby. So it changes it like that, and it looks a little different, of course. Also, the other thing, when the middle is transparent, the only way to set focus in that is to click the letters down here. That might be an important thing to remember. I kind of like the old Segway script, and I'm just going to say OK and save that. And now we've got that scripting, what that looks like. Anyway, this is totally customizable. I think I've covered just about everything I have in here. Yep, pretty much. Okay, never mind.